Hey there, Pete, GCI Turf. Hope you're good. Of course, you're looking at a little bit different backdrop. You're kind of used to seeing that. I'm gonna do something pretty cool right here. Well, at least I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I'll let you be the judge of that. What I have here is a neighbor's yard. I've spoke with her and she happens to live right beside me. And we're going to do a little experiment here. Let me show you. So you're well aware of the Academy program. It's an online turf school, maybe. I don't know what you want to call it. School, program, training, whatever. But I'm helping folks to have a yard. Now, to my knowledge, I think the majority of our members or folks who have something more like this and are just trying to up their game. At least the personal communication I've had with members, a lot of them are in this situation. So I don't really know how many of you are in this situation, but I'm going to show you in 1 year, you can go from this to this. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do, you can call this step one if you want to. We are end of February. Now typically I would like to have this done sometime around the middle of February, but that's okay. We're just a little bit late on this and it'll work out just fine. I've measured off my the Springtime Academy fertilizer, lawn fertilizer. One bag will cover 6,000 square feet, okay? I've marked off 3,000 square foot right here of turf. It just so happens we use the same exact fertilizer in the spring as we do the fall. So that 6,000 pound bag will give me 2 applications on a 3,000 square foot area. So let's check it out. Look at the grass. A little bit of broadleaf down in here. It's some plantain, has some dandelion, it's some clover. You can see the turf, weak, thin, bare areas, things like that. Big chunks of, that's probably KY31, more than likely. Not sure how much of this is a turf type, if any. But when we seed it in the fall, it will have a lot of turf type in it. Look at here, Mr. Mole, and he is awful close to my yard. He best stay where he's at if he knows what's best for him. So when we get back here, it gets a little worse the further we get back. You can see how it changes. Lots of weeds back in here, so we'll do this area as well. So let's get with it. All right, so step number 2, I'm getting ready to take my Sprayers Plus 2-gallon sprayer and my sprayer nozzle assembly, and I'm going to apply. Now, I'm going to kind of attack this at a slightly different angle this time. I typically wouldn't use tenacity, but since I saw those grassy type things back there in the back, tenacity seems to do a little bit better on some grasses, and it actually gives you a little bit of post-emergent control as well. So I'm going to go with that plus my prodiamine. So I've got my enough measured out for 3,000 square foot. I'm going to give it a little stir. I'm going to pour this in slow because it is a powder. I don't want to force it all in at one time. Look at there. Make sure that's good and mixed up. Then I've already watered down. Now I went at the full rate on the tenacity, which is 8 ounces an acre, and if you divide that by 43, you come up with something, and then you multiply that times 3, and it's 0.55. So this is right about a half an ounce of tenacity. And hey, please do me a favor. When you're mixing these things, especially the chemicals, please wear gloves. That's very important. So next on the list, I'm gonna go with my aerate, and I'm gonna go at the low rate, which is 6 ounces per 1,000. 3,000 square foot is 18 ounces. Oh yeah. All right, then next on the list, I'm gonna go RGS. And I'm going to go at 3 ounces per 1,000, which will make that 9 total. Wow, that's nice. If you're wondering what I'm using, you can get this thing at Lowe's, I think, sells them, Home Depot probably. It's just a paddle. I think they use them for mixing paint, but it's exceptional for mixing small batches up like this, because you want to keep this stuff agitated as you're going. So what I did is I went and took, I don't like wasting any of this stuff. It's just so good. So I went and put a little more water in here to rinse it out, like so. Another little stir. I'm ready to spray. All right, so we're going to try something totally and completely new right here. This is the first time I've tried this. You can see me down here. I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to find out. But you can see it's a little bit clearer view from up in the sky. You can see this strip of grass right over here. That's my property, and we're trying to get that, or we're trying to get this to look like that, right? So at the end of the day, at the end of the year, we're gonna get this turf grass in such good condition using the Academy program that we're gonna go from this to this. And so that when we get into next spring, we're gonna look more like my yard over there. So stay tuned, keep an eye on the channel, and watch, and I'll show you how to transform this yard. All right, so here's a tip when you're using the Sprayers Plus battery sprayer. After you get done spraying, make sure you flush it out. Run plenty of clean water through it, because you want to take care of this piece of equipment and maintain it, because if you do, it will last you a long time. All right, so we got our spring lawn fertilizer down. We got our RGS, aerate, tenacity, and a little prodiamine put down. It's looking good. I think it's supposed to rain tonight. I appreciate you guys watching, and man, I hope you guys have a good evening wherever you're at. Just have a good evening. And hey, get your dirt right.